Okay, picture this. You've just successfully set up a local AI model on your machine. You run a perfect query in the terminal, and boom, you get this wonderfully sharp, fast response. You smile, you close the terminal, and walk away, and poof, the AI is just gone, right? That frustrating lack of permanence, that completely ephemeral nature of terminal sessions has literally been the Achilles heel of local AI for years.
Well, welcome to this explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today because we are finally going to solve that exact problem. We're breaking down a fantastic, incredibly practical K-Nuggets article published in July 2026 by Ollama. It's called Running OpenClaw with Ollama. And this is all about taking your local AI out of that fragile terminal window and giving it a permanent, always-on body that you can text from anywhere. Okay, let's dive straight into our roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. The missing local AI link, 2. How OpenClaw actually works, 3. The one-command setup, 4. The context window secret, 5. Connecting your Telegram assistant, and finally, 6. Going headless and troubleshooting. Section 1. The missing local AI link, bridging the gap between the terminal and reality. So enter OpenClaw. This was created by macOS developer Peter Steinberger, and you might actually know it by its original name, Claudabot. This project absolutely exploded, rocketing past 60,000 GitHub stars in a matter of weeks. And why? Because it serves as a personal AI gateway. It perfectly bridges your local Ollama models directly to the messaging apps you already live in every single day, like Telegram, WhatsApp, and Slack. It ensures your AI stays running persistently in the background, ready the exact second you pull out your phone to text it.
Section 2. How OpenClaw actually works, peeking under the hood at the 3-layer architecture. Now, before we go typing any commands, we really need to understand the ingenious architecture that makes this whole system tick. The elegance here comes down to 3 distinct layers. Step 1 is the messaging layer. This is your WhatsApp or Telegram API receiving your text. Step 3 is the model layer, running Ollama locally on your GPU or via the cloud. But step 2, that is the absolute secret sauce, the gateway daemon. This coordinator just runs quietly in the background, and it's solely responsible for holding those messaging connections open and managing all those complex multi-step tasks while you just go about your day.
Of course, running an always-on agent means making some real-world hardware decisions, and you basically have 2 paths here. If you want zero hardware friction, you can absolutely use a cloud model like Kimi K2.5 Cloud. It's perfect for complex agentic tasks requiring 0 local VRAM. But on the flip side, if you demand absolute data privacy and you actually have the hardware, say around 25 gigabytes of VRAM, a heavy local model like Qwen 3-Coder guarantees that every single byte of your data stays strictly on your own machine. Section 3. The one-command setup, bootstrapping an AI agent in seconds. Listen, as of Ollama version 1.17, all that messy manual setup, all those nightmare gateway configurations and package management headaches of the past, completely eliminated. It now collapses into this single, incredibly powerful terminal command, Ollama launch OpenClaw. The moment you hit enter on that command, a rapid 5-step automated sequence fires off. 1. It checks your system for Node.js. 2. And I am deliberately slowing down here because this is a severe security notice. The agent will have the ability to read files and execute actions on your machine. You must understand this risk. The source strongly advises running this in an isolated environment if you have any doubts whatsoever. Okay, 3. You select your cloud or local model. 4. Ollama handles all the provider onboarding completely automatically. And 5. The gateway starts up, the terminal user interface opens, and boom, you're live. Section 4. The context window secret, the critical step most tutorials skip. 65,536. That is your magic number. This is the absolute minimum context length token count required for an agent to successfully string together complex multi-step research tasks. Without this, your agent is going to experience amnesia and just flat out forget its original instructions halfway through the job. Now, cloud models actually handle this automatically. But if you are running a local model, you have to set this context explicitly before launching your setup. You do that by running this exact command in your terminal, export Ollama_context_length equals 65536. Seriously, do not skip this step.
You can and should visually verify your configuration using the Ollama PS command. Our correct setup should proudly stay 100% GPU for the processor, and your context should clearly say 65,536. But if you see an incorrect configuration, like, say, a split of 40% GPU and 60% CPU with a tiny 4096 context, that means your model is offloading to the CPU and your performance will be absolutely ruined. Actually, the author points out that if your local hardware cannot fit that full 64K context into VRAM, you should really just swallow your pride and switch to a cloud model rather than compromising your agent's memory.
Section 5. Connecting your Telegram assistant, giving your agent a permanent home.
So, Telegram is highly recommended as the absolute cleanest starting point for developers. And here is how smoothly this integration goes. Step 1. Message the official @botfather on Telegram. Step 2. Send the command /newbot to generate your secure bot token. Step 3. Paste that exact token right into OpenClaw's channels menu in your terminal UI. Step 4. Okay, listen closely. This is absolutely crucial. You must select the word finished in the interface to actually save it. If you just exit the menu, your entire configuration is completely wiped out. And finally, step 5, send /start to your brand new bot on Telegram.
And just like that, you have an AI in your pocket. But there is a massive difference in capabilities depending on your specific setup. An AI without web search is just a static chatbot, right? It can only answer from outdated training data. But an AI with OpenClaw web search enabled? It's like magic. A single Telegram message from you triggers a 20 to 40 second autonomous research cycle natively in the background. It actively searches the web, reads live pages, synthesizes all that info, and texts you back a fully cited answer. You literally have a researcher working for you while your phone is just sitting in your pocket.
Section 6. Going headless and troubleshooting, taking your setup to a 24/7 production environment.
Okay, so what if you want to run this permanently on a server, or maybe tucked away inside a Docker container? Well, an interactive terminal UI asking for your input is going to completely break your deployment. Instead, you use this command, adding the -yes flag. That -yes flag is everything. It completely skips the interactive user interface, it automatically pulls your specified model, and immediately starts the gateway daemon in the background for a perfectly clean, headless deployment.
Finally, let's run through some essential troubleshooting tips to keep your new 24/7 production setup healthy. First, hitting Ctrl+C in the interactive UI? Not enough. You must explicitly use the command gateway stop to terminate the daemon cleanly. Use gateway status if your messages just randomly stop processing. Also, for local web search to function properly, ensure your Ollama account is actively signed in on that machine. And here's a massive pro tip. If you're building custom apps using the Python API, you must aggressively truncate your web page tool calls to 8,000 characters. If you don't, fetching just one single massive web page will instantly blow out that hard-earned 64K context window budget we just worked so hard to configure.
Which brings us to the ultimate question for you to ponder as you design your own personal system. Will you rely on cloud convenience to save VRAM and completely bypass hardware costs? Or will you build a fully private agent on your own infrastructure to guarantee absolute, uncompromising data security? The tools are now in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope this completely changes how you interact with local AI, and honestly, I can't wait to see what you build.